Okay, so here goes another anonymous story time. Would I be wrong if I didn't allow anyone to come visit me after I give birth? I'm a 20-year-old female and my fiance is a 20-year-old man, and we are currently 32 weeks pregnant with a baby boy. This has been a very exciting time for us. However, we wanted to keep it private for multiple reasons. One, everyone is assuming our son is an accident because we are young, but we have great steady jobs. Two, nobody knows we are now engaged and we're keeping it private because everyone still views us as children, even though we live on our own and have proved that we are independent and doing great independently. Three, everyone thinks they are entitled to everything regarding this pregnancy. Nobody knows the gender because after we told our parents we were expecting, they announced it to our entire families after we specifically said we were not telling anyone. These are just the main reasons why we are trying to be as private as possible. We originally wanted our moms to be at the hospital with us because we've never had a kid before and we really don't know what to expect. Not to mention, we're also young and we know how doctors and nurses treat young patients. Now that our parents have thrown us a baby shower that we did not want with family we do not associate with, we do not want them to be present at all. This has caused so much tension, and I know it sounds bad, but if we do allow them to come while we're still in the hospital, they are not allowed to bring any of our siblings and all of our... Okay, so here goes part 2 to the anonymous story time. Would I be wrong if I didn't allow anyone to come visit me after I give birth? After our parents told our families that we were pregnant, we decided we did not want them to be present, and that if we do allow them to come while we are still in the hospital, they are not allowed to bring any of our siblings, and all of our siblings are adults. They cannot take pictures, they cannot announce the gender or birth, and we feel like you should only know this information and be able to see our child if you are part of our lives, which most of our family isn't. We do not want our grandparents to come in from out of state for the birth because we want to keep it very limited who can see the baby right at first. We plan on announcing the birth after the baby's first checkup, but even after that, we will not be around family and we will not be playing past the baby. We are trying to get used to being new parents and learn our baby's schedule with privacy and respect. We will not be announcing when we go into labor, and they won't even have the hospital name until after we are ready to tell them. We'd also like to have a bonding time with our son alone for a couple hours after the birth. With all that being said, nobody still knows these plans yet, and we are waiting to tell our mothers to avoid unnecessary stress before giving birth because we do not know how they will react to the news. And I'm pretty sure they're both going to be mad at us. Am I wrong for not allowing anyone to come visit after I give birth? Okay, so here goes another anonymous story time. Am I wrong for getting engaged to my girlfriend's baby daddy? I know that sounds crazy, but let me get into it. There's 3 people I need to introduce. My girlfriend Ashley, who is 27, my girlfriend's baby daddy Julian, who is 29, and my best friend Kayla, who is 28. I'm a 27-year-old female, and I've been dating Ashley for about 4 years now, and we had a healthy relationship, or at least I thought. About 2 years ago, I decided to go through her phone and I found videos of her and my best friend Kayla sleeping together. All of those times when I was calling her and she was claiming to be busy, she was really sleeping with my best friend. And the only thing I knew is that I couldn't let her off easily, so I decided to hurt her beyond belief. Julian and Ashley have had a 50-50 custody arrangement, so I see Julian often, but she's never home when he has to pick up his son. So I started to flirt with him, and he would flirt back with me, and then he liked one of my pictures on Instagram, and we started to follow each other. Ashley didn't care at all because she thought he wasn't my type. One night, I came home early to surprise Ashley, but when I got there, I heard her and Kayla in one of the rooms. I didn't say anything, and I just shut the door quietly and went to the bar to get a drink. And that's where I saw Julian there with one of his close friends, and he asked me what was wrong, and I just spilled everything to him. And that's when he sighed and replied, yeah, she cheated on me too. I was so confused because when I had asked Ashley why they weren't together anymore, she said that they just didn't work out because he was boring. Me and him started talking more and more, and I realized how much we had in common. We started to text and talk on the phone, and when Ashley took their son to visit his grandma out of state, he asked me to come anytime. Am I wrong for getting engaged to my girlfriend's baby daddy? We started to text more and talk on the phone, and then when Ashley took their son to visit his grandmother out of state, he asked me to come to his place to hang out, and I did. One thing led to another, and we did the nasty, and it was one of my best nights of my life. I knew immediately after that evening that Ashley and I would never be the same again. He started taking me on dates and trips constantly without me begging to, and honestly, I no longer cared about Ashley and Kayla being together because I was slowly falling in love with Julian. However, things were about to change. Julian took me to Mexico last April and asked me to marry him, and I said yes, but now I was thinking about how I was going to break up with Ashley. Luckily for me, I went through Ashley's phone again, and she had told Kayla she was going to leave me so they could be together, and they would come out as a couple slowly so they wouldn't get any backlash. Well, I waited for that day, and she told me we needed to talk, and I said, yeah, we do, and she was shocked, so she offered me to date first. I told her that I knew she was sleeping with Kayla for 2 years now, and then she started to deny it, but after I showed her the evidence, she came to me and said she didn't want to date me anymore. And I told her that was fine because I'm now engaged with her. She went quiet for a second, then began to scream and cry and say, how could you sleep with the father of my child and then go on to marry him? Why didn't you just break up with me when you found out I was sleeping with Kayla all those years ago? All those times when I had my son at home, you were out with his father screwing him, and all those expensive trips you went on were with my baby daddy. So here goes part 3 to the anonymous story time. Am I wrong for getting engaged to my girlfriend's baby daddy? After I told her I was engaged to Julian, she went off. She said, all those times when I had my son at home, you were out with his father messing around, and all those expensive trips you went on were with with my baby daddy? I told her yes, and then she goes on to tell me that I took it way too far. And then I told her that Kayla lived with my family for years and she was like a sister to me and you cheated on me with her. And she asked me if I really loved Julian and I said yes. And then she started sobbing and called Kayla and told me to pack my things. Kayla consoled her and told her at least everyone can be happy now, but Ashley didn't want to hear it. Ashley was so mad, and now Julian and I are planning our dream wedding, which he already has set the date for. Both of our families are happy, but we have gotten some pushback from Ashley's parents, basically saying they know what Ashley did was terrible, but if we wanted to be together, I should have left sooner. Maybe they were right, but Ashley could have also left me instead of cheating on me with Kayla. Now when Ashley drops her son off, she always asks me why him, and I tell her that she had Kayla and now she needs to move on. Ashley now often calls me drunk, talking about how much she misses me, and I just hang up the phone in her face. Kayla is still around my family because they said they couldn't pick sides, but I honestly don't care since I don't interact with her even though she tries to talk to me still. I'm just glad I'm finally with the person of my dreams. So am I wrong for getting engaged to her baby daddy? Okay, so here goes another anonymous story time. Am I wrong for yelling at my mom after she snooped around and found my play toys? For starters, I am a female and I'm 19 turning 20, and my mom basically found all my play toys in the shower. Before I go into any more details, yes, I do live with my mom along with my boyfriend. We live on the second floor to the tri-leveled home my mom owns, and we pay $3,500 a month, which includes all of our bills. We are also always covering my mom's groceries, which I don't have a problem with. My boyfriend and I agreed to stay in my mom's place. We also agreed that she wouldn't be able to snoop, go inside of our bedroom, or through our personal things, and she agreed. It did help that there was a door separating each floor of the house, but in the long run, I guess that didn't make a difference. Anyway, me and my boyfriend go to school full-time at a local community college. That way we can transfer with no debt and then get into a university, and had made a bit of money to help while going to school. I work full-time at Target while my boyfriend works at a hotel, and he also works part-time at Taco Bell. Anyways, my mom has a bad habit of going through our stuff and listening to our personal conversations. On Monday, my mom had just seemed weirded out and really distant. Sunday was me and my boyfriend's anniversary, and needless to say, we had a little fun in the shower. I cleaned everything up afterwards and put the— Okay, so here goes part 2 to the anonymous story time. Am I wrong for yelling at my mom after she snooped around and found my play toys? My mom has a bad habit of going through our stuff and listening to our personal conversations. And then one Monday, my mom seemed weirded out and really distant. Monday was me and my boyfriend's anniversary, and we had a little show in the shower, but we made sure to be quiet, and afterwards I cleaned everything up and put everything in a small discreet bag and placed them on my shower rack. Mom was being nosy as per usual and waited till me and my boyfriend went to work, and she began digging in my stuff, and lo and behold, she found my bag in the shower. She waited until I got home and cussed me out and was acting all grossed out. I snapped and I told her she didn't have to go through my things like I'm a fucking child when I literally wear the big girl panties of the house. Told her she needed to stop searching through my stuff, and then she wouldn't be so disturbed and disgusted by it. Also reminded her about our agreement of not going through each other's stuff, and she got really angry and started crying. She told me I didn't have to yell and that it was her house and she was entitled to see what was ever in her house. Then she said if we didn't like it, we could just leave. And I guess my mom told my aunt because my aunt was cussing me out and calling me a bitchy brat and yada yada. Honestly, I really feel like I didn't overstep any boundaries. I may have sounded harsh, but I was just irritated. Well, she's my mom and I know we're living in her house. I don't think she's entitled to look through my personal things. Am I wrong?
Parents, what was the moment when you felt the most proud of your child? Went in for a conference with the kindergarten teacher, and after we covered the academic stuff, teacher said, I have to tell you something. Oh no, you know she's the social leader. Oh, no, you know she's the one all the kids want to be friends with. There is a boy in the class. Oh, no, please don't tell me she's the mean girl. That kid is autistic. She decided he needed a friend. She asked to sit next to him at his table. She has made the entire class adapt their recess games so that he can play. If a game involves touching, he doesn't like to be touched. So she figures out different rules for him so that he can play. She sticks up for him. If something bothers him, she makes sure it isn't an issue. The entire class follows her lead. I can never comment on another child, but anyone can observe that he used to be in our classroom 1 hour a day and now he is here full time. Teacher is crying at this point. If she does nothing else, ever, she has changed one life.
What industry secret does your company not want people to know? I worked at L'Oreal. The cosmetics from L'Oreal and Lancome are practically the same, but Lancome costs like $20 more. I work at Shein. Most people don't know this, but if you become one of our product reviewers, we give you an $800 gift card to shop anything on our site. You can literally get an entire haul of clothing and accessories this way. Edit. You can apply at SheinProgram.com. I worked for Crest. All toothpaste is basically the same as long as it has fluoride. The only difference is the packaging. So whether it says whitening gum protection or whatever else, it is all exactly the same. Worked at Bath & Body Works. The scents they discontinue will come back with a different name and new marketing. They're just recycling the scents.
What is a green flag you've experienced on a first date that made you want to have a second date? She came to my door and my puppy got excited. Without skipping a beat, she scooped up the dog and asked where the three of us were going. That was 19 years ago. Puppy is gone, but we've stuck together through hell and back. First date, she was driving us to a spot to go hiking, about an hour's drive. We're talking and talking, but every once in a while we wouldn't be talking, and it just felt so comfortable and not awkward being silent together. The date was supposed to just be getting a drink or two. We stayed until the place was closing down, and even then the date wasn't over. We watched Donnie Darko and he made us cookies. We've been together for almost 10 years and married for 5. He took me out for coffee in a place that he made me choose. When I got there, he was already waiting, and the way his eyes shined when he saw me was really adorable. We ordered and played chess. His hand was shaking. It's been a year and counting. I asked if she wanted to go to McDonald's and split some fries because that's all I could afford at the time. She said sure. We talked a long time and split a large fries, and she was so chill about it. She wanted to be with me. Anywhere would have been okay. I knew if she was willing to go out with a broken, struggling me, she would also be willing to build a life with me from the ground up. We have been married 35 years, through ups and downs, kids, sickness, wealth and poverty.